against the United States, and their best player is injured, so do they have a chance tonight?
Really? Well, let me tell you, they're going to have to shoot about 80% from the three-point line, hit every free throw, not turn the ball over, and hope the Americans come down with a case of 24-hour Ebola virus. That's about the only chance they have.
Georgetown, Villanova, we'll look for it. Kirk Penny's a guy that can shoot great from the outside. He'll be a senior at Wisconsin this year. But tonight, he's with New Zealand. He's happy to be here. We are too. We hope you'll come back. We're going to check back in the studio right now with Linda Cohn. Linda.
Thank you, guys. Yep, just hang. Plus, we'll have updates for you from Flushing Meadows at the U.S. Open. Venus Williams among those in action. And, of course, the baseball pennant races. Paul Pierce, who knocked down 27 points against Russia last night, getting ready to finish.
Court side, let's go to David Aldridge. David?
All right, Paul Pierce, you've led the team in scoring each of these first 4 games. Now, is it hard not to try and take over when you're feeling good?
Yeah, I mean, if you're feeling it, you want to just keep going. You know, the guys, they really finding me, letting me do my thing. And, you know, if a guy got a hot hand, they're going to just let it keep rolling.
Yeah. What do you find is the toughest thing when you're playing against teams that you really think you should be?
Just the mental aspect of it, coming out, not really being lax at the start of the game. I think if we can come out and approach each and every game like a big game, then we shouldn't have a problem. Hopefully we get off to a good start tonight.
All right, what do you know about this haka that they're about to do?
I really don't know a lot about it. I heard a lot about it, so I'm gonna just wait and see.
All right, we're gonna see in a second. Paul, thanks for stopping by. You know, the haka is a ancient Maori war dance. It was done before battle, before soldiers went into battle. It's done not only to get themselves ready for battle, but to encourage their opponents to fight as hard as they can. You're about to see it right now.
I love that. The United States loved it. But I got to tell you what, though, Tom, Venezuela took a little exception to it the other night. There's a couple words in there that you could misconstrue.
Well, I think one of the words sounded like a curse word. The other guy's like, oh, really? Ah, the Venezuela assistant coach.
Yeah.
To me, well, to you, too. You know what's funny, though, is I guarantee you at some point in the next year, one of these guys on the USA team will be using that dance in a club somewhere. Yeah. They're like, hey, that was pretty cool.
Calvin Sampson, one of the assistant coaches from Oklahoma, just came over smiling. Maybe the Sooners will have that next year when they're getting ready for battle. There's Tab Baldwin, the head coach of New Zealand, native Floridian, went to Notre Dame. He said it's been great. A couple of his brothers came up from Florida earlier in the tournament, a couple of his buddies and roommates from Notre Dame. There's Sean Marks, who we were talking about. His right eye was scratched Saturday against Argentina and didn't play with some bleeding behind his eye. They don't know whether or not he'd be able to come back if they could advance farther in the tournament or not right now. But the Indiana Pacers eye specialist is taking a look at him. We've seen him in 2 or 3 different sets of shades today. He'd much rather be out there playing than where he's sitting. I know that.
Yeah, I don't want people thinking that he thinks he's cool by wearing the shades. It's for the eye. And last I checked, I talked to him today, he wasn't using his name in the third person, so.
That's a good sign. George Karl, a head coach, and a head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. And talking with him today, he's so excited to be part of this, and that's what's special about these players. They're all excited to be here as well. Obviously, this isn't the '92 Dream Team. But it's a group of guys that plays well together, and he's pretty proud of them so far.
Well, I think when you talk to George Karl, you can see the passion for basketball. He just loves basketball, and he feels honored to be giving back to the game and coaching this USA team.
Jermaine O'Neal from the Indiana Pacers. There's Elton Brand. O'Neal and Ed Book will jump. And the 5th game for these 2 clubs underway, and it was uncontested for O'Neal, so Andre Miller will bring it at the point.
It'll be interesting early on in watching New Zealand against Germany. They like to play man-to-man, but they'll throw in a 3-2 zone, and you wonder if they're going to try to shorten this game up a little bit.
Finley outside. Buries it for 3.
It's always nice to hit that first shot. Always makes you feel like, well, now I can take another one. If I miss it, I'm still shooting 50%.
That's right. Book trying to give them some size. He's out there playing on the outside.
Nice move.
Nice move inside.
Yeah, I mean, when you get guys who are shot blockers, you want to be able to freeze them. You have to get a little room. When they're longer than you to create that room, sometimes it takes a little pump fake to get them off balance, and that's what Penny did. Pierce
Packs it into Brand. Again, same spot, left baseline, same result. 2 for 2. Now he can take another one.
You might want to make a defensive adjustment there and say, okay, Finley, left corner, no more.
Somebody might want to stay with him.
Absolutely.
Jones, a good outside shooter.
And their offenses run primarily on the outside. You're going to get book setting screens for guys. And Cameron, even though he's a big guy, he's a guy that can shoot the three-point shot as well. And they try to keep the basket area open for cuts and layups.
Jermaine O'Neal picks up the first foul. U.S. by 4 here early. 10-minute quarters in international play. Penny around a pick. Got an open look. Knocked it down.
Well, he can shoot. I mean, they've got some guys on this team that can shoot. He can shoot. Jones can shoot. Like I said, Cameron, even though he's a big guy, he can shoot from the outside. And it's one of the things the Americans are going to have to do, get out and force him to bounce the ball a little bit, not just catch and shoot.
O'Neal, I don't know necessarily that the U.S. wants him taking that one from over on the elbow, but he missed it. And a chance. Here's Cameron, the guy you're talking about. He knocks down a 3. It's exactly what you're saying, Tom.
Well, you look at him, and he looks like a rugger, as they like to say, a rugby player. But he can definitely shoot.
Finley's eating it up right now here in the first couple of minutes. Dickel, former UNLV point guard, trying to get around a pick. Lost his balance. 6 on the shot clock as he drives and kicks out to Book. The big guy will take the outside jumper, and he knocks down the 3. We said if they're going to have a chance, it's a shooter's chance, and at least they're starting very, very warm.
And Book makes the shot, but it's Dickel. And you can see both teams shooting extremely well early on from 3. But Dickel's the guy, if you'd watched him play at UNLV, led the NCAAs in assists his senior year. He's a guy that can really get to the middle. He breaks it down, and then when he breaks it down, he forces the big guys to come over and help. You do that. Although O'Neal didn't do a very good job of helping or recovering. He just kind of stood there and watched the play unfold.
Not the only time the U.S. has had any kind of troubles when they have a little bit of a lapse in defense. Pierce almost threw it away. 5 on the shot clock. Finley on a foul, and it's a charge on Finley.
We have a tendency sometimes, if you're the American team, if you're on any team that's more dominant than the team you're playing, is to cruise, knowing that you think you can just turn it on. And if you're New Zealand, your goal is, well, let's see how close we can stay, because the closer we stay in this game, the more they may pucker at the end.
That's right. Here's Cameron, one of their bigger guys, and going against Brand. And fouling Elton Brand.
Well, not only can he shoot the 3, Cameron's a little more athletic than he looks. Like I say, he looks like a midfielder on a rugby team. This guy just wins championships. He's won 5 championships in New Zealand. He won the major titles in England last year for an English team. He won a Malaysian championship. So wherever he goes, he wins, and that's not a coincidence. He understands how to play the game.
He's the most decorated player, if you will, in the New Zealand. And here he is on a little spin. Nice move. I tell you, right on cue, too, huh?
Well, I think if you're Elton Brand or Jermaine O'Neal and you're guarding this guy, you're thinking, okay, this guy...
No shot.
Yeah, no shot. He's just kind of a big lumbering guy, but he's not. And they found that out early on.
And now we're going to have a foul on Book as he and Brand were battling for the rebound. Reggie Miller on the sideline. 12-8 New Zealand with an early 4-point lead.
Well, we hit a couple threes early. It wouldn't surprise me to see them try to get the ball inside, work from inside out.
O'Neal, they're going to call a foul on Cameron from behind. It'll be his first.
We talk about this guy right here and what he's able to do offensively, not only shooting the 3, but, you know, athletically, but defensively, you know, now you got to make him guard somebody. You got to make him get down there and get the ball inside and say, okay, go ahead and guard me.
O'Neal gives it back to Andre Miller. Loose ball out to the U.S. Miller had a great game last night as the U.S. beat Russia 106-82. And he missed that 3 on the outside. There's Cameron on the break to Jones. He'll pull up. They're not going to be a big transition team, their coach told us, but they did get a shot off transition there and missed it. Miller missed the last two.
Was the place where they, I would imagine USA is going to dominate on the offensive boards, but in looking at the stats, New Zealand hasn't done that bad of a job on the offensive boards. They only give up about 7 a game. You would just think it'd be more.
There's Elton Brand's game right there.
Yeah. Big hands, big buttocks, gets down there, moves guys out of the block, and great hands.
Oh, and there's O'Neal's game. He swats one out of there, but throwing it away is the United States.
When talking to some of the guys from New Zealand earlier today, I said, you guys are going to try to shorten the game, meaning run the shot clock down, don't try to get on fast breaks, try to make it a shorter game. They said, no, we're just going to play our game and see what happens. We want to improve, we want to progress, and this is kind of a measuring stick. Let's see where we are.
Dickel missed the 3, so out of bounds to the U.S. Chance to tie or lead this trip down. Here's Jermaine O'Neal.
And this right here is, I got it? Oh, no, you don't. We don't have guys like that in New Zealand.
That's right. God, it's been around 6 years, and he's still only 23, right?
Yep.
Pierce nails it outside. And when he warms up, look out. As David talked with him, averaging over 23 a game, leading the United States in all 4 previous games. Nice backdoor cut underneath. And inside's Jones.
The lefty gave him the pump fake, and when you get guys like Jermaine O'Neal who are shot blockers, who want to get up after the ball, you just show them the ball a little bit, and that gives you the edge you need to get that shot off.
Finley hit his first 2 shots, missed that one badly, and now New Zealand throws it away. So, New Zealand, a little bit of a surprise here. 4 minutes, 54 seconds to go in the first quarter as they look up at the States, 14-13. Actually, the United States came out of Group C originally, and now as they've moved in, it's Group F as we're in the second round. And Argentina won earlier tonight over Germany, so they are perfect at 5-0. That's the opponent for the United States tomorrow night. You'll see that game on ESPN2 as well. Group E looks like this. Spain, Puerto Rico, Brazil, and Yugoslavia, which has kind of been a little bit of a disappointment. Everybody thought that they would be maybe the team to beat. They're the defending world champions. And the United States trying to run their record to 5-0. 5 lead changes so far, though, in the early going of this one, and New Zealand surprisingly in front by 1.
Well, the fun part about these tournaments, I mean, not only does the winner of the tournament qualify for the next Olympics, but we know the international gap is closing. You look at the NBA draft, and it's littered with foreign players. And we're not talking second rounders. We're talking guys in the top 10 led by Yao Ming, who's the #1 overall pick. It's fun to see how far that gap is actually closed. And, we're looking at last Olympics. Was it the France team that was close to beating the U.S. team? And these guys, this is a New Zealand team who may or may not make the quarterfinals. But you look ahead, you see Argentina and Yugoslavia and Spain. There's some very good players out there, and one of these years, it's going to happen. Right. I mean, there's going to be an NBA team or a USA team comprised of NBA players that comes out here and gets beat.
Pierce misses the free throw. George Karl, the U.S. coach, coached Real Madrid in Spain about 10 years ago, and we talked to George today, and we said, how much has it improved just in the last decade? He said dramatically that the gap has closed and that the players have become better and better year in and year out. And they're proving it in this event.
I think you see more athletes. Guys are more athletic than they used to be. They used to be real stiff and mechanical.
Cameron missed a hook. O'Neal will clear it off to Pierce. Finley. And get another one. Finley so far has been the man for the U.S. 11 for Michael at the 4-minute mark of the first quarter.
Well, we all know he likes offense. He plays for Dallas.
That's right. Over 20 game for him. Dickel, nice feed inside to Jones. Good ball movement.
That's rough running into Cameron right there. I think Andre Miller was trying to stay with Dickel. And when you have a pick or you get hit by Cameron, you know you've been touched.
First tie of the ball game. U.S. trying to change it, but Finley missed on his sweet spot on that baseline. So it's New Zealand with a chance to regain the lead. Nice pass. Beautiful. Jones wide open. Triple. Got it. Right. And a foul. On Pierce underneath, I think.
Well, that's just fun basketball right there. Hey, watching the pass, Cameron over the head, boom, touches, back out to Jones, and you get the three-pointer. That's fun basketball. I mean, these guys right here, we're talking about having to shoot beyond the arc. And the one thing, you know, they're shooting 60%. The United States has taken 9 3-point shots. They need to get the ball in the paint a little bit more.
Finley, nice hesitation to get around Boucher and just lays it in. And Finley has 13 of the U.S. 18 points. Reggie Miller up off the U.S. bench. This will be the earliest we've seen him because of that bad ankle. He came in late in the second quarter of the game last night and hit a 3 right before the halftime buzzer. Hickey inside, missed. Miller on the break. Now Pierce around Jones with the left hand. O'Neal keeps it alive. And out of bounds to the United States with 2:48 remaining in the quarter. 2002 NFL season kicks off right here on ESPN Thursday, September 5th, 8:30 Eastern. Jeff Garcia and the 49ers looking to build on last year's success. Michael Strahan and the Giants might have something to say about it. Coverage starts with a special edition of NFL Countdown presented by Coors Light at 6:30 Eastern. EBC. So New Zealand right now with a 1-point lead. And they've been doing it with a variety of things. They're hitting threes. Great ball movement.
Doing it with a lot of passing is what they're doing. The ball's not touching the ground a whole lot. It's catch, look, see if we can get the 3. You know, Penny right there with a nice up and under. But it's been drawing, dishing, and guys hitting open shots. And when you're an underdog, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to hit open shots. And even they've got a couple inside shots. And USA is not doing a good job of establishing the low post.
Nope.
They're taking 3-point shots, but they're not coming off pitches and catches. And that's, you know, New Zealand's actually doing a better job of that. It's throwing it down inside and then kicking it outside, where the American team is just kind of floating around the perimeter. And I think that's when you know you're more talented, you think you can get away with that.
They're playing in New Zealand's hands right now. There's Reggie Miller. Of course, this is his home court. He said yesterday, 3 seconds left in the half last night. And they forgot to guard him. And you don't do that with that guy because he'll kill you.
No, he's made a living out of hitting deep shots and clutch shots in the NBA. And he may know the sight lines and the angles here, but he knows the sight lines everywhere. Yeah, he knows the sight lines everywhere. I think he might have had a hand in building some of the arenas. The architect.
Ben Wallace in the lineup for the first time. Messes in close. Tenari now into the backcourt along with Penny. Boucher leaves it for Cameron. And again, Penny gets an open look and knocked down a 3. Kurt Penny from the Wisconsin Badgers will be a senior there in Madison.
Getting open shots and hitting open shots. And it's a screen that's setting all that kind of stuff up because they're getting good open looks. It's not like USA teams playing off. It's screen wide open, catch, fire.
And Boucher and Cameron do a nice job of boxing out Wallace to get that rebound. Whistle, and the foul's going to be on New Zealand. And it'll go on Robert Hickey, who's going to see a lot more action tonight with Sean Marks out with the injury. Conseco Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, the site of New Zealand and the United States. Each team playing their 5th game in this World Championship. The United States perfect at 4-0. New Zealand won their first 2, lost their last 2. But at 2-2, they've been an impressive club tonight. They have to shoot well to win. They know that. They shot very, very poorly last night in a 20-point loss to Germany. And they were really disappointed. Tab Baldwin, the head coach, said, you know what? We didn't compete. We were upset with ourselves. We know we can play better than that. We didn't hustle. We didn't do anything we had done in the earlier ball games, and we can't play like that or the U.S. will blow us away. And right now they are playing more inspired, really, than the United States, and they lead by 4.
Well, they're definitely battling underneath, and you would expect the Americans to dominate on the offensive board. But, I mean, let's not forget, these guys aren't as tall as the USA team, but like, you know, they come from a country where rugby's the #1 sport. All these guys played rugby. Yeah, they're not soft. They will get in there and they will battle. A couple elbows to the face, to the jaw, to the chest. It's not going to bother these guys.
You said to Sean Marks today, wait a minute, just an eye injury is going to keep you out?
He said he'd actually received some emails from guys saying, come on, it's an eye injury, get out there.
Jermaine O'Neal's second block shot of the night. The crowd comes to life wanting Reggie to hoist one. He might if he gets it back, but he's playing catch with O'Neal, his teammate, and now the feet underneath, and Miller had it blocked. Nice defense by New Zealand. Boucher will slow it down with 1:20 left first quarter.
They do everything up top. Everything, you know, to open up the basket. Good.
Oh, good look. He's the guy that's supposed to be one of the defensive specialists. And Dylan Boucher gives them the biggest lead of the night. They're up 6.
Well, that was the degree of difficulty. He would have gotten like 6.5 points for that shot.
Absolutely. Wallace, nice drop step and lays it in. Good-looking move by Ben Wallace.
Well, the last 3 times it's been O'Neal, and Wallace. They're trying to get down there. You know, there's nothing wrong with taking the three-point shot. It's just let the big guys get a touch.
Right.
If they get double-teamed, let them kick it out. It makes it easier on both parties.
Again, the weave on top. Penny gets it back just inside the three-point line, lets it fly. The rebound will come off to Reggie Miller. Ahead to Andre Miller. Andre never did find the handle on that, but they're going to call a foul on Penny. And the fans here don't even like that call.
Well, those are tough ones in the open court when you're talking about both guys going after the ball. And is it the USA ball? They had the ball and
yeah, they kind of laid a shoulder in there, man.
Yes, they did.
Kind of a haka move on him, and you know, that's probably why I got the foul call.
It's like a pulling guard. Got the hip into him.
He plays at Wisconsin. He's thinking Fuzzy Thurston and Jerry Kramer there, but anyway, got a foul, and Andre will go to the free throw line. Andre coming off an 18 points, 3 rebound, 4 assist night. 18 points in 19 minutes of action last night. And hits the free throw.
In a league where guys, you know, make the highlight reels with dunks and 3 points and very athletic moves, you know, Andre Miller is not the most athletic guy, and he's not going to wow you with his athleticism. But at the end of the night, you know, playing for the Cavaliers last year, now playing for the Clippers, 17 points, 9 rebounds.
Lead the league in assists, yep.
You know, he's just solid, and he's not going to turn the ball over a lot. You see Baron Davis coming in here. Now, he's a little more explosive. He's the guy that can definitely get up and throw one down on your forehead.
Baron checked in at the point. John Marion's in there as well for the U.S. A little different look as George Karl keeps alternating the lineup. Canary off a pick, missed outside. And I think it's going to be Davis with the foul. It is his first.
USA with a nice job defensively that time, extending the pressure, getting out after guys, not letting them get clean looks at the bucket, making them put the ball on the floor. And then, you know, you have something to work with. A team like this, you can't let them catch and shoot, or they're liable to stay in the game longer than they're supposed to.
Excellent quarter so far for the team they call the Tall Blacks. Their rugby team is the All Blacks. These guys don't have a tremendous amount of height, but they're taller than most of the rugby players, I guess. This is the second free throw. 3-point lead, 10 seconds remaining first quarter. Let's see who takes the final shot for the United States. Davis has got it in hand. Hanari's on him. Barron pulls up 3. Marion might have a chance before the buzzer, but he missed it. And how about that? Quarter number 1 goes to a team that just barely got here. 16 years since they've even been in the World Championships, but New Zealand proven that they belong, at least for the first 10 minutes. They came out with a haka, and they still got it going. The intensity's carried them to a 3-point first quarter lead. Thank you. And New Zealand surprisingly up by 3. Don't forget, next 3 games for the United States in the World Basketball Championships. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, U.S. against undefeated Argentina. We'll have that one for you on ESPN2. Thursday at 9 in the quarterfinals, U.S. will be on TNT. And then Saturday, action on NBC. So if you're a United States basketball fan all week long, you can see your favorite team, which right now trails by 3.
I don't mind that they jump at the end of each quarter, at the beginning of every quarter, I should say, but you got to shake hands at the beginning of every quarter? Like, dude, I already shook your hand. I got to do it like 3 more times?
At least you only have to dance once. Good.
I kind of missed that, actually.
Elliot Davis in the lineup for the United States. Baron Davis at the point. Reggie Miller cross court, good pass. Marion got an open look and missed it. And let's see if Book pushed off trying to get the rebound. I believe he did.
We talk about battling, and you know Wallace is going to battle, and Book's going to get under there and battle. And he's trying to get the, you see where he gets the knee, right underneath the crack, and just move him out. Get him out of there, And right there, it's not quite strong enough. He got pinned underneath the bucket.
Ed Book with his second foul. He represents just about the only height other than Hickey that New Zealand has to offer at 6'10", and that might be gracious giving him 6'10", I'm not sure. Ball comes free. Baron Davis thinking about a long three. Dickel comes out to pick him up. Way off the mark. Fresh clock. See if somebody takes a good shot this trip. So far, they haven't.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the last 3 shots have been, Sean Marion firing 19-foot jump shots. And, I know he can shoot that shot. And you don't have a problem with that shot in transition, in rhythm. But once you're, when you know what your strength is, you know what their weakness is, do it a couple times.
He's a guy that can shoot, but has been injured on a bad ankle.
God, he's great at that.
Yep.
I mean, if you get close to him, he will find a way to make the official blow the whistle. He leans into you, and his sister, Cheryl Miller.
Reggie comes over and gets a little tout for the hands. A lot of gold in that family.
Absolutely.
And Reggie, of course, the elder statesman at 37 years of age, and can still hit about 91% of his free throws.
I wonder how it felt to have your sister whooping your butt for about the first 15 years of your life. To be like, God, Dad's one thing.
Hey.
Sis keeps just tearing me up.
What doesn't kill you will make you better. Reggie knocks down both free throws and cuts the New Zealand lead to 1. And been very few turnovers, but New Zealand just threw that one away. That's their 4th. And gives the U.S. an opportunity here to regain the lead. Davis, there you go. Around a double, and he's fouled by Ramsey.
Get into more of an attack mode instead of a relaxed mode. And by that, I mean, you're relaxing. That's when you can take the jump shot. Attacking the bucket is more energy. And sometimes you don't feel like doing that, but when you have that advantage, you're going to go in there, you're going to get hit, you're going to get fouled, you're going to get bumped. And taking the jump shot's the easy way out. But if you want to get in there and get some free throws and get to the line, you do what Antonio Davis does. You show him the ball, put it on the floor, and try to get to the line.
Antonio, who started his career right here before being traded to Toronto, and then his career has just flourished since that time.
And he's one of those guys that you love the story. And he goes and plays overseas, out of UTEP. And this is a guy who wasn't drafted, wasn't drafted real high. I don't even know if he was drafted at all. And he goes overseas, and he comes back and he makes the All-Star team. Yeah. He makes the World Championship team.
Not bad.
It's a great story. It shows you that, with some talent and with some work, then you can make something out of yourself. And he's certainly proven that.
Here's Book on the drive, and he drew a foul. That's Davis on the deck.
You look at right here, just, you don't get enough of the guys getting together, Miller and Baron Davis, a little bit too much of a gap. And if you get the momentum going the wrong way, I mean, all he has to do is make a quick move, he gets to the middle, and now you have numbers.
Book at the free throw line. Book's actually an American-born player, born in Buffalo, New York. Played at Canisius, and now a teacher for kids, underprivileged kids. All these guys have regular jobs. They're not paid to play on this national team, and that's both free throws. So they're doing it for love of country and pride and all the rest, and then they go back, some of them, to play in European leagues. Some of them do regular jobs. Davis on the turn. And Wallace keeps it alive. Reggie thought about it, didn't take it. And Davis partially blocked. Wallace finally in play. Boy, it was a struggle. U.S. regains the lead.
Talk about a man among men.
Yep.
That's Ben Wallace. Look at those shoulders. That's a big man, and that's how he makes his living, being physical, blocking shots, playing defense, and this guy's just an animal under there.
U.S. was having some early trouble with China in one of the earlier games, and then he just took over muscle-wise. Jones lost the handle, and the shot clock expires, so another New Zealand turnover. They've been sloppy the last 2 trips down court, and they missed a couple of free throws, so their last 3 trips, actually, into the offensive end haven't been very fruitful for them. 7:42 to go first half. United States back in front, but they've trailed by as many as 6.
Let me see a veteran, Reggie Miller. He understands he could have taken that shot from 17 feet, but why do that? Let's get the ball inside and see if he wants to pitch it back outside. That's where, you see the veteran leadership of Reggie. He can take that shot, but doesn't.
It's almost like he's saying, you know what, I'm going to wait until we really need one before I take one, because he's giving up some open threes.
Yeah.
Set to check back in for Reggie Miller. Here's the kind of guy that can explode on you. Of his 27 points in the win over Russia last night, 20 in the third quarter. He does that for the Celtics occasionally, too.
I mean, he's amazing. Well, you still remember last year's game 5 against Philadelphia, where the guy was just in a zone like I've never seen.
Right.
Everything. I mean, we're not talking 2-footers. We're talking 3-pointers. We're talking pull-up jump shots. We're talking spin, whirling dervish. I mean, the guy's doing everything, and it was all fine at the bottom of the net. And he goes into last year, could be regarded as one of the top 20, 25 players in the league. He comes out, now you're talking top 5, top 10, and a guy that you definitely want to have the ball in crunch time.
Number 3 scorer in the NBA. In fact, scored more points than anybody else. Wallace is fouled across the lane. Last night, Paul Pierce, we talked about it, in a huge game, he just started lighting it up in the 106-82 win over Russia.
Well, you certainly see the confidence in his face, and you see the confidence in his stroke. There's no question of whether to shoot or not. It's catch, am I open? If I'm open, I'm going to launch. And once he gets it going, I know there's a lot of players, I mean, it's kind of stupid and redundant to say once he gets it going, he's unstoppable, because then he wouldn't have got it going if he wasn't unstoppable. But this guy is not just one-dimensional. I mean, he's doing it all. He's taking it to the bucket, he's shooting threes, and he's just a really tough guy to handle. You put a bigger guy on him, he drives by him. Put a smaller guy on him, he can post him up.
He's got that variety pack going.
I like variety packs, too.
Yeah, me too. It's not just regular chips. Yeah, that's
absolutely. Those little ones, they weren't big enough, but I love them.
Cocoa Krispies.
Absolutely.
There you go. Jones trying to kick it outside, which they do well, trying to find the open shooter, and it's Dickel. 3 goes in and out, and then Jones didn't mean to, and got Pierce right in the chops. So he'll pick up his second foul. 6:43 left in the half. U.S. by 4, and that's the biggest lead they've had.
I always felt as a player, even if you did mean to, you act like you didn't mean to.
Yeah, because you don't want to get in a fight right there.
No, you don't want retaliation, then maybe you can get him again later on.
You get a second shot.
And then after that, he's not going to buy it.
No, after that, forget it. I trust you the first time, shame on me. Yeah.
Exactly.
Pierce had missed his first 2 free throws. 3 points on the night, and missed another. Having trouble from the strike. Flavel's checked in to the backcourt for New Zealand. He's bringing it up court right now. U.S. leading by 5.
Well, you can see the defensive pressure has been extended. That's another advantage they have. They're quicker, they're longer. You get in guys' face, and you don't let them catch and shoot. Make them put it on the ground before they do so.
And Baron Davis coming out on Jones. Jones threw it away, trying to get to Flavel. 6th New Zealand turnover now. So they've gotten a little sloppy here. As Tom said, U.S. has picked up the defensive steam a little bit, and it's showing in the box score.
Wow.
Another outside jumper by Wallace off the mark. See if Cameron gets his hands on it to shoot. They'd like it to go in his hands at least once every trip down court, because he is a great shooter. He's a wide body that can set picks and come off the pick and roll. Here he is on top. Dickel, deep ball. Got it. John Mark says good shooting.
And going back to Cameron, too, a good decision maker. I think they like his decision making as far as being able to pass it. Another quick shot by the USA team.
That one from Sean Marion, and he's had trouble from the outside. He's taken some shots that, as you said, he can hit, but it isn't there tonight so far, that's for sure. Brooks will try 3. That's a brick. Davis. Barron's going to take his own from 14. Rebound is Cameron, all alone. Nice job using the big, wide body. Keep everybody else away from the ball.
The USA team right now, you're thinking to yourself, we're only up 2.
Yeah.
That's it. And New Zealand, goal accomplished. You're feeling good about yourself. Your shots are going to get easier to take. Their shots are just going to get harder to take the longer you stay in the game.
Dickel, nice look out to Jones for the lead. Rimmed out a 3. Ooh, there's some authority on a rebound. Wallace just snapped that thing out of the air. Pierce, good look to Marion underneath.
And that was a tough shot by Sean Marion, but the New Zealand team doing a real nice job in transition defense. They're not sending a lot of guys to the offensive boards, because I'm sure they're figuring, why bother? We're not going to get the offensive board. Let's at least get 3 guys back.
Inside, Flavel, excuse me. Flavel cuts the lead back to Deuce. Marion drives. With 4 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the half, the United States has gone from being a couple of points down to 4 points up here at Indianapolis. It is the United States 35, New Zealand 31. But New Zealand early in this ball game led by as many as 6 points. 24-18 was their biggest lead. And they have hung very tough with this United States club that's trying to go to 5-0 so far in this tournament.
Well, if we wonder if there'd be an intimidation factor, it certainly hasn't materialized.
No, it hasn't.
New Zealand is not intimidated by these guys at all, and they're willing to bang. They're willing to get in there and box out, and they're willing to do the little things to try to stay in this game. And I'm sure right now they're thinking, hey, this is beautiful. Yeah. We're only 4 down. We're playing some good basketball. Let's see if we can lull them to sleep a little bit more.
If they can hang and be only 4 down or even better at halftime, they would take it. I would be sure of that. Nice adjustment in midair by Flavel.
And they're getting to the spots they want to get to. Yeah, that's one thing. The USA team is not forcing them to take a lot of bad shots. They're being patient and getting the shots they want.
Davis had one rim out. Wallace tried to keep it alive, and now Pierce buries a 3. Paul Pierce with 6. 5-point U.S. advantage, 38-33. Here's Hickey on a drive. Boy, he wanted to keep that high to keep it from getting blocked, but he almost missed the top of the box.
That was not good.
Nope. Pierce behind the back. A little sloppy. I don't think George liked that one much. Here's a push to Jones, and that turnover cost the U.S. 2, that's for sure. Jones has 9. Good feed from Mark Dickel.
Well, turnovers are only good if you can convert them into buckets. It doesn't do you any good to get a turnover and then not score. And the New Zealand team doing a nice job off the turnover, not waiting, but pushing the ball and get an easy layup.
Pierce penetrates. Dickel knocked it away from him. And now the whistle. And 3-second violation on U.S.
We're talking about getting the turnover, and what do you do with the turnover? Dickel gets it, he pushes it, keeps it until he makes Finley commit. Finley commits right over to Jones for the layups. Too many times you see guys in the fast break pass it back and forth when it's 2-on-1. Ideally, what you'd like to have happen is the one guy who has the ball in his hands, that was Dickel, take it and make the defender commit. If he doesn't commit to you, you lay it up. If he does, you pass it off as he did to Jones.
And the U.S. with another turnover and the points off for New Zealand. They've got an opportunity now to get a couple more because the U.S. just got caught with a 3-second violation. So with 3 minutes left in the first half, the United States leading New Zealand, but by only 3. Flavel, nice push to Cameron, outside to Hickey. And cleared out of there by Ben Wallace again. Aaron Davis, the dish, Finley, that's been his spot. Got another one. 4th 3 for Michael Finley.
And the difference there is penetration. Penetrate, kick out.
Kick out.
Exactly. You have it, and then you're in rhythm, and boom. But it's fun to watch this New Zealand team play because they set the picks, they got the flare screens, and right there, Flavel wide open.
And he hits a 3. So, from Finley to Flavel, 41-38. Finley, by the way, has 16 to lead the United States. Aaron Davis weaving through traffic, and everybody backed away from him. All of a sudden, he said, wait a minute, I'm open.
That's rough. Usually guys don't get away from you. I don't know if you used any deodorant today, but guys, you're 8 feet away from the bucket. Go attack somebody.
Cameron trying to move inside. A little hook shot off the glass. I love this guy. He looks less like a basketball player than I do. And he can play. Here's Finley on the baseline. Things warming up a little bit. It's up and down the court. Wallace keeps it alive. Pierce bumps by Flavel. And a whistle with 1:33 remaining in the first half. We got a timeout. Michael Finley. As Tom said earlier, he likes offense. He plays for Dallas, and he's putting up some offensive numbers tonight. 16 points, 4 3-pointers for Michael Finley. But still, guys like Harold Cameron keeping New Zealand in the hunt. United States leading New Zealand by 3.
And then here off the kick out, Baron Davis creating shots for Michael Finley. Lighten it up. He's one of the guys that's lighting it up. 4 for 8 from beyond the arc. 16 points. He is the guy that's getting it done. And we talk about offense, and Brad said, yeah, Dallas, you know how to score. If you can't score, you can't play for Nellis.
That's right.
You just can't play for that guy.
And U.S. still having trouble with their free throws. As Paul Pierce misses another. He's 1 for 5 from the stripe. Got the second. 4-point lead, 90 seconds left first half.
But if you're New Zealand here, you don't want to do anything stupid. You got to within 4 points, a minute 20, run some clock and see if you can get a couple more shots. And even if you're down 5 or 6, that's good. You just don't want to be down 8 or 9 and let the USA make a big run.
And you can hear the slap of the ball. George Karl didn't like the call because they're going to call a foul on whoever got Cameron. They're going to call it on Wallace. Notice how the officials do their hands different when they do the numbers over to the scoreboard.
I've never paid much attention to officials.
I know you haven't. But Eduardo Sancha and Daniel Delgado, I'm having trouble with the numbers off their hands. Anyway, that was on Wallace.
They always call fouls on me.
Yeah, that's why you had nothing to do with them.
I didn't want to have anything to do with those guys. On me again, huh?
Yeah. You knew by the sound of the whistle what number it was.
Well, I just knew when I was on the court, like a guy like Chris Mullin or Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, I knew they weren't calling it on them.
Nice drive inside. Kirk Penny inside, and all of a sudden, 2-point game. Minute 13 left in the half. So when Tom and I said they would love to be in the 4-point range at halftime, they are in the 5-point range right now. I Pierce just knocked down a 3.
Well, Penny's one of those guys on the team that they can put the ball on the ground. He gives you 1 or 2 dribbles, and he can get to the rim.
There he is, with Finley on him. A couple of Wisconsin Badgers. One an old one, one a new one. Almost lost it. Hickey missed it. Marion trying to clear it out. Whoop, hit Hickey in the back of the leg, and now a foul. Well, that was a highlight reel. Henare picks up the foul.
Looks like he's going for a little hacky sack there.
Well, a hickey sack. Hit him in the ankle, and the ball was loose.
Now, I think if you're New Zealand, you know, Sean Marion at the line, but even if you get the ball back, I still say you try 2 for 1. 39 seconds left. You can maximize, you know, getting 2 shots for 1 shot right here.
And it's a break off the free throw line again.
We have to repaint that rim. Ooh. Free throws. Not good.
No, they haven't been. That one's a little better. Marion's got 5. The lead is 6. Cameron's trying to set a pick, and long ball. Missed by Henare, and back comes the United States. Baron Davis pull-up jumper. In and out. Cameron keeps it alive. Now you hold for 1 shot. Yeah. We'll see if they have the opportunity to do so. 16 left. Shot clock's off. 6-point game. New Zealand, you would like to get Kirk Penny open if they can get him a screen. May not happen. Cameron's going to have to do this himself. Well, he got a heck of a drive out of it, but he missed it. That was just one of those get-out-of-the-way drives. The big fella almost knocked one in before the break, and a good first half. Tab Baldwin looking at his club, not just awed by playing the United States. They not only are in it, they led the United States, and he's glaring at the officials as he walks off the court right now.
Give it to these guys. We like, you know, they're not intimidated. They're taking it to the rim, and they're getting. The one thing I've noticed in the first half is they're getting the shots they want to get. If you're George Karl and you talk to the USA team, it's got to be more about defensive pressure. Let's get in these guys' faces. Let's not let them get the shots they want to get.
So it's halftime. The United States trailed by as many as 6. And now they're up by 6 at the break. United States 48, New Zealand 42. Let's send it back to the studio and Linda Cohn. Linda.
Thanks, Brad. Linda Cohn in the ESPN2 studios. Plenty ahead for you at halftime, including strange stories involving Jalen Rose, why Bobby Knight is making news, what about the U.S. Open, and in baseball, of course, we follow the pennant races and a near no-hitter for the Texas Rangers, and a few surprises as well, all coming up for you at halftime. But our score at halftime is the United States 48, New Zealand 42. We'll be right back after this break. Stay with us. Championships for the U.S. with a 6-point lead over New Zealand. Paul Pierce with 11 points. Michael Finley leads the U.S. with 16. In other news, let's talk basketball. Chicago Bulls guard Jalen Rose. Strange thing happened to him. The good news was Jalen Rose was not hurt after speeding away from a carjacking attempt in Los Angeles early Tuesday morning. Rose's passenger, though, was shot in the face, but his injury is not life-threatening. The suspect, though, is still at large. Elsewhere, Texas Tech head coach Bobby Knight is going to have to pay $25,000. Yes, it's a fine to a former assistant coach at Indiana. This after Knight signed an agreement in which he
in the playoffs for the first time since 1995. Fast forward, Game 5 of the first round between the 76ers and Celtics. Paul Pierce put on a show. He scored 29 of his 46 in the first half, and Boston won its first playoff series since 1992. Then, in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals against New Jersey, Pierce again led the Celtics to the greatest comeback in NBA history as he scored 19 points in the fourth quarter to erase a 21-point lead and conjure up images of past Celtic glory. The international stage has been no different for Paul Pierce. He's taken the leadership role on Team USA, averaging 23.5 points a game and is shooting 47% from the land of plenty. Paul Pierce is evolving.
Paul Pierce evolving into the best player on the United States team. And he has something that Clark Kellogg would call spurt ability. You see, the big quarters that actually got the U.S. over the hump in all these games. He had 8 points in the second quarter against the Kiwis, and that's one of the things that's helped the USA cling to a lead right now. You know, talking to Paul, one of the things he said that when he was stabbed, it happened so quick, he didn't realize that he was injured until he got in the car, saw all the blood, and that's when he thought that for the first time, he may lose his life. Obviously, Paul doing well, the U.S. doing well so far against New Zealand, clinging to a lead. Paul, the difference. He's 3 for 4 from the land of plenty, as I like to say, from 3. USA leading New Zealand in the FIBA 2002 World Championships here in Indianapolis. Halftime 48-42, United States by 6. That matches the biggest lead that they had in the first half. New Zealand actually led at 1 point by 6 in the first half as well. So it's more than just an admiration society for the guys from New Zealand. They're out to try to win this thing, and they're within striking distance.
Well, a couple of things I would expect to see change is New Zealand shooting over 50%, 51.5% for the first half. They're only shooting 42% for the tournament. So I expect the USA to turn up the defensive pressure and New Zealand not to shoot quite as well. I expect USA to go inside more. There's no reason they should have 7 more three-point attempts than New Zealand. I mean, you're the team that can dominate inside. You would expect New Zealand, and as you said, New Zealand more points in the paint than the USA, which doesn't seem to figure, and it'd be surprising. And another thing, if you're USA, you may win this game. Let's say you only win by 10 or 12.
Right.
The other teams may think you're vulnerable. You get Argentina.
And Argentina is playing sky high right now.
Yeah, Yugoslavia, maybe down the road. You get Spain. Yeah, I think right now, when you're looking at a team, you want to dominate them. You want to win by 30 or 40 because that gives other teams hope, or it quashes their hope.
What's going on right now is the officials in this event have their whistles electronically connected to the time clocks here, which should give you the greatest stoppages of clock you'd ever get when the whistle blows. And we had a little battery replacement here right before the start of the second half, so that's slowed things down and gets a smile from Tab Baldwin. Impressive guy today at practice. I just liked his attitude about this whole thing. He said he's been questioned for the last 6 to 8 months about this team and what they expected to do in this event. And he said, I didn't want to set a goal and say, hey, you know what, 5th place would be nice or qualifying the Olympics would be nice, because he said you never get higher than that goal if that's what you set. He said, I just kept saying Russia is all we're thinking about. That was their first round game, and it's a game they won, and they scored the first 2 points of the third quarter with Phil Jones on the drive.
I think any athlete will tell you, regardless of what sport you're playing, you have to believe you can win each and every game. You don't, maybe if you get outside your body, you don't believe it, but going into that game, you have to say, you know what, for 40 minutes, we can beat this team.
And he said, you know, realistically, maybe we can't play with the United States, but I think at halftime, he probably went in and said, hey, guys, you know what? It's 48-42. It was at halftime, 48-44 now, and a chance to cut the lead down 2 more. By the way, the United States started with their starting 5. That shot off the mark. So it's Pierce, O'Neal, Finley, Andre Miller, and Elton Brand that took the court for George Karl to start the third quarter. Statistically, in the first half, the U.S. shot 38%. As Tom said, almost 52 for our friends from New Zealand. And they had more points in the paint than the United States, 18-16, which you would never dream of in this matchup. Jones, they might have gotten a piece of that one, and Brand will clear it off. Andre Miller leaves it for Finley. He was red hot early. Nobody picked him up. 18 for Mike Finley.
Moses.
He parted the lane, the trapezoid.
Unbelievable. How can you just let a guy like that go right down the middle? And someone's got to step up, don't they?
I don't know. We have a trapezoidal lane. I guess they didn't know what was going on. That was a nice move by Kirk Penny. Penny's got a dozen. He's going to be a good one. All Big Ten performer last year for co-champion Wisconsin in the Big Ten race, and this will keep him warmed up for the season. Andre Miller, 3-pointer short. Intensity's picked up to start this third quarter. Elton Brand is going to be fouled by Phil Jones. There's the stats from the first half, 52% from the floor for New Zealand. And free throw situation, the offensive boards, quite a difference. And that's a 2-pointer for Andre Miller, just inside the 3-point line.
And they're not letting him get out and run either. 7 points, that's all they've had in the fast break. And that's because their transition defense has been so good.
Well, the lead 6. Dickel got it by Miller on top. Brand and Cameron banging on the high post. Four on the shot clock. Gonna have to hurry one. Rebound, O'Neal. Finley looking to run. Wide opens Pierce for 3. Got it.
Those are 2 guys right now from the outside, Finley and Pierce. And Finley does a nice job of getting not quite to the middle, but those skip passes, boy, you get the weak side defense to collapse a little bit, and he found Pierce with a nice spacing.
Pierce 4 out of 5 outside the stripe. The lead is swelled to 9, the biggest by either team tonight. Andre Miller picks up the foul for the United States. Andre's first. George Karl said to Andre Miller as he walked by where we were talking with George tonight, he said, Andre, you're going to start tonight. You all ready? And I think Andre thought he was kidding because Baron Davis has started at the point most of the tournament so far. Kirk Penny knocks down 2. And he said, yeah, Coach, whatever you say, I'm ready. He was so nonchalant. Whether he thought he was kidding or not, I don't know. But he did start, and he started this third quarter. 55-48. Turnaround no good. A lot of black jerseys there, but it comes out to the white-clad United States. Pierce. Whoa. Wow. Yeah, that one was from the RCA Dome, which is where some of the other games are going on, across the street.
That one could have broken a finger coming off. You're not expecting something like that to come off. I mean, that one came off harder than it hit. Stick a finger up there, well, you might get a nice little jam out of that.
You could lose it.
Absolutely.
Cameron picked up the foul, his second. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Brand the kick out. Finley was hot early. That one in and out. Kept alive by Miller. Oh, acrobatic. That's about as fancy as Andre's going to get on you. And Reggie Miller, no relation, with the cheer from the bench for his teammate. 9-point lead again. And a foul on Andre Miller. Slipped a little bit defensively, trying to stay with Dickel. Reggie has not played much because of a bad ankle. David Aldridge is with an interested spectator.
Hi, Cheryl.
What's up, Big Daddy? What's up, Big Daddy?
The last time we were set together, Reggie hit like this long shot to tie the overtime game against New Jersey.
Well, I thought that I was going to possibly lose my job because I'm not supposed to be rooting for my brother, but wasn't that a great shot?
It's a great shot.
That was a great game, actually.
It's a great game. What do you get out of stuff like this? I mean, this is it's a good competition, but at the same time, the U.S. seems to be the better team than everybody that they play.
Well, you know what? It's funny because I've read all the articles, and this is a team that's not supposed to. Everybody's challenging the U.S., but you know what? Until somebody does something, it does have too much fun. I mean, Paul Pierce, Andre Miller, you got a J.O. I mean, Elton Brand. Nobody's going to sit up and challenge these guys. I mean, the closing of the gap. Give me a break. It's not going to happen.
Your brother likes to still play and still do these things. You surprised that more guys didn't do this summer? More of the star players didn't participate?
Well, I've always said all along that my brother's a freak of nature. I mean, he's extremely patriotic. I think the biggest disappointment right now is that he, twisted his ankle and everything else, and he can't be in there. But you see him. I mean, he's a great cheerleader, and I've said that all along. In high school, I thought he'd been a great cheerleader, but just kidding, Reggie.
No, you're not.
I mean, I know I'm really not. But no, it's been great for Reggie because he likes being in Indiana. The fact that he's representing his country, the fact that he's playing with these younger guys and the younger generation, is a great opportunity for him.
Cheryl, throw it back to Tom and Brad.
Hey, Tom, let me tell you something. Cut my brother some slack, all right? With your non-playing self in Arizona. No, Tom, I love you to death. The ball head and everything. Sweet, sexy thing, you.
What did I do?
At least you didn't call you Big Daddy.
What did I do?
David got a Big Daddy out of the deal.
Is that good, Big Daddy, or that bad?
I think that's good.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
It sounds good to me. I don't know. The lead's gone to 11, though, so that gap closing when Cheryl said forget about it, maybe it is starting to widen again with 5 minutes left, third quarter.
Well, I will disagree with one thing that she said. I think, maybe not in this game, but you look at the way the international players have been playing, the gap is closed. I mean, it's not 1992 anymore. We're not winning every game by 45 points. And then you just look at the proliferation of guys in the NBA, good players, Stojakovic, Turkoglu, Vlade Divac, Yao Ming coming in. I mean, Dirk Nowitzki, one of the top 5 players in the NBA. The gap is closing.
They're going to call offensive foul on Paul Pierce there. And the United States lead has swelled to 11 despite Big Thursday, September 5th, a brand new start to a brand new season on a brand new night. ESPN and ABC, your primetime spot for NFL football. Can he better that record this year? I don't know. That's going to be tough to beat. Jeff Garcia hopes he doesn't get about 5 to start the season. I know that.
Well, unlike Brett Favre, I doubt Jeff Garcia is going to fall down for him.
Here's Penny.
Just kidding, Michael.
Penny against Finley and rejected by O'Neal. So the shot blocking prowess of the United States starting to surface here in the third quarter. Pretty good move by Penny, but
was a good move there. That's where the good shot blockers come from.
Whoa! Ouch! That's the second one in a row. You would have thought there'd have been a little body there, but I guess not. Pierce on the other end got it. And I know that Tab Baldwin is saying the same thing to the officials. He thought that that last block shot was a whole bunch of body, but no call, and Pierce is now 5 of 6 from outside the arc. It's a 14-point U.S. lead. And the technical has been called on Tab Baldwin. So as I said, he stared down the officials heading to the locker room. He erupted a moment ago on that second block shot by Jermaine O'Neal. And it drew the ire of the officials enough that a technical has been called. So Michael Finley steps to the free throw line. Finley with 18, leading the United States. 19 now. And this one will put him about on his average from this past NBA season with Dallas.
Well, that last block shot was ugly.
Yeah, that one, you could hear the sound.
That's one of those ones you don't want to go back in there for a while.
Bench technical, so the 2 shots, and now the ball. And all of a sudden, it's a 16-point ball game.
Everybody always makes such a big deal out of shot blockers throwing the ball out of bounds or blocking them off the backboard and it goes out of bounds. And I agree. I mean, everybody always inevitably brings up Bill Russell. Right. How great he was at keeping the ball in bounds.
How about the intimidation factor?
I think there's a place for a couple of those a game. Yeah. Where you throw one into the 5th row or you smack one off the board.
Pierce got another one. Holy mackerel. 6 threes for Pierce. I guess he wants to lead in scoring again tonight.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He is pretty good. He gets tangled up with Kirk Penny, and it's a turnover by New Zealand. And all of a sudden, the game is getting out of hand for the folks from New Zealand, 67-48. Remember, this was a 6-point game at halftime. And remember what we told you earlier in the ballgame. The third quarter in this event has belonged to the United States. They have just pummeled people in the third 10-minute segment, and that's why they're sitting where they are right now at 19.
New Zealand is sitting back in the zone. You got to try to find the sweet spots in the zone. The little creases right in the middle of the zone. And, of course, skip passes always work.
Here we go again. This one's short, though. And Hickey clears off the board.
Well, I really believe the first half, USA, they can say they're playing as hard as they can, and the intensity level is high, but it's not. They come out in the third quarter, and it's time to strap it on and do some business.
Dickel, nice dish in the lane. He got it right back. And now Cameron with a deep ball. Not this time. Pierce with the board. 3 minutes left, third quarter. Now every time Paul Pierce touches it, the crowd starts to come to life a little bit. Here's O'Neal. Dickel clears off the miss. Tell you what, Mark Dickel can weave through some traffic. Penny, nice pull-up around Pierce, but he missed the shot. Dickel says, let's just slow it down a second.
Well, they're coming back down to earth a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not shooting quite as well as they were in the first half.
This guy can shoot out there, but he's missed 2 in a row. We saw him go around the arc today and not miss a 3-point shot at practice.
And you watch the rejections right here. We talk about intimidation. It's, that one hurts. And you're saying, no, wait a minute. And this one right here, that was a double thud. Off the hand, off the glass, fast break starter.
That's the one that caused the technical,
Yeah.
and I don't really blame Tab Baldwin on that one. If you ask me, O'Neal got him with more of his knees than he got with a hand.
Yeah, but it was so fun to watch. Why,
It was.
Why stop the action?
Yeah, let him play. Reggie Miller's checked in for the United States, and that gets a big round of applause. But 2:35 left in the half. Andre Miller and Reggie Miller both in the lineup. Andre Miller launches a 3 of his own. Boy, it's a 3-point show tonight.
Well, they're picking them apart now.
Yep.
Now it's about getting the ball to the middle of the zone, and now they're going from the inside to out. But if you can get to the middle of the zone, you have just about any shot you want to.
Whistle and elbow underneath. It's going to be on Reggie. And picks up a foul somewhere in that mess.
I'm not sure where that was. I'm not a big...
Uh-oh. Cheryl's
Only
giving
Cheryl was
the refs
happy
some
with the
grief.
call.
Yeah. They'll get a timeout. New Zealand takes a timeout with 2:15 remaining in the third quarter. A third quarter that has belonged to Team USA, and they lead now by 22. Reggie Miller, 37 years old, as I mentioned, the elder statesman on this team, and as Cheryl said, one of the great cheerleaders as well when he can't play because of a bad ankle, but you know what? He can still play. There's no doubt about that. And he's proven that time and time again. Let's take you back. Game 5 against the Nets last season. Reggie Miller, as only Reggie can do a lot of different things. But one thing is buzzer-beating shots like, look at this line drive, bang. That's not all he can do, though. It's like a fountain of youth thing because he's not just an outside shooter. He can still do things like this, going against Kerry Kittles and slams it home at 31 in the game, despite the fact his team lost.
I think there are some Knicks fans going, you know, we've seen that before.
We've seen that before.
We've seen that before. And you know, as I was watching
I don't think Spike was at that game, though, probably.
And I don't know if Reggie actually called bank on that shot, but it's uncanny the way that guy can hit big shots. Although maybe even more uncanny was, how can you leave him open at the end of the game?
Yeah.
I'm putting everybody on him. I don't
Absolutely.
care. Somebody else take the shot. I've seen this guy do it way too many times throughout the course of his career. We talked about all the things that he brings to a team, intangibles like being able to get to the free throw line, knowing how to get the ball inside, knowing how to get guys involved in the offense. But one thing he's known for is hitting open jump shots and hitting clutch jump shots.
And Reggie could become Only the first American male to earn 2 World Championship gold medals if the U.S. goes on to win this gold. Some of the women have done it, but no other males ever won 2 golds in this event. Here's a 3-pointer on the baseline by Jones. He got his own rebound somehow. And then he had it swatted out of there by Pierce, who didn't even know he was going to block it. Now Andre Miller runs with it. Pull-up jumper. Got it.
Well, I think, you know, when you go back to Reggie Miller, it's nice to see a guy that wants to play in 2 of these things.
Exactly.
I think a lot of guys in the NBA figure like, well, you know what, I paid my dues, I played one of these things. That's good enough for me. Whereas in other countries, I'm sure they'd be willing to play as long as they have them. And that's just not the case here in America.
Most people assume that the United States has just trounced everybody and won more gold medals than anyone in this event. That's not true. Yugoslavia has more golds than the U.S. Here's Reggie's first shot. He missed it. But the golds for the United States, the first one came in 1954, and then 1986, and then 1994. But they are not the defending champions, and they do not have more gold medals in the World Championship than anybody else. Olympics is a different story, and Tom and I have been talking about that since we've been here. It seems like more people would have more pride in playing for that because they feel it's a bigger event. But to these folks, these other 15 countries from around the world, that's not necessarily the case. And finally, a foul call underneath. The United States, when they put NBA players in, they've never lost in international competition. They're going to try to make it 58-0 tonight. That's their points per game and the opponent's points per game, and that's fairly close to what the margin of difference is right now. The United States in this event has a 27.5-point margin of victory, averaging 101 to 73.5 for the opposition. So they're pretty close. Like Tom said earlier, they're not winning by 42 like the Dream Team, but they're still beating people's brains in by 28 points. I mean, what do you want?
Absolutely, and I think the point is it's getting closer. And sooner or later, one of these foreign teams, foreign national teams, are going to be able to compete and beat the USA team, especially if you get guys like Kobe Bryant that doesn't want to play, or Tracy McGrady. And there's a three-pointer. That's a three-pointer. And I know Shaq had the toe problem, but there are guys, and Cheryl, I'm sure, very happy with that three-pointer. But yeah, they're getting their best players every single competition because it means a lot more to them to play in these competitions than, quite frankly, it does to a lot of our guys.
20 seconds left in the quarter. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
And it's not just basketball. I mean, you even go to tennis. You know, Davis Cup. Right. That's one of the reasons John McEnroe decided he didn't want to deal with the headaches, trying to get Pete Sampras to play, trying to get Andre Agassi to play, trying to get some of the better players to play. And I think if you go around the globe and you talk about sporting events, whether it be a baseball exhibition, basketball, you know, certainly there's not football, but soccer, and even the other sports like tennis, it means more to them to win those events. And it certainly means more to them to beat us than it does for us to beat them.
Yep. You got a big target on yourself if you're wearing the United States uniform as far as competition of a sport created by somebody from the United States. And Gap getting a little bit. Oh, he missed the slam. And that's going to end the third quarter unless Jones can hit one here. And it rims out. So the third quarter again belongs to the United States, as it has throughout the World Championships. They stretch a 6-point halftime lead into a 23-point third quarter lead. And one of those threes in that 23 came from the old man. He can still feel it from the outside. Into three, 75-50.
Absolutely, and they've been getting the offensive rebounds in the first half. They just weren't able to get them and put them back in. And now in the second half, they're getting the offensive rebounds. They're finding a way to get the points in the bucket. And then Michael Finley's been doing it from the outside, him and Paul Pierce. And that's a direct result of being dominant from the inside. Because when you're dominant from the inside, it makes your job easier from the outside.
Finley was the number 2 scorer coming in. He and Pierce both have 20 as we are set to start the fourth quarter. And Wallace wins the jump ball. Baron Davis, Antonio Davis, Sean Marion, Reggie Miller, and Ben Wallace on the floor for the United States. A little bit bigger team. Davis on a spin. Nice turn.
There's a nice spin. Just create a little space. And Hickey, you know, did a nice job of keeping him from getting to the goal. But what Antonio Davis does is lean into you a little bit. Then he fades away, and that creates a space to get off the shot.
Up 25 with 9.5 to go. Reggie cross-courts it down to Marion on the baseline. He'll pull up there and airballed one. But Antonio Davis was in the right spot at the right time. Finally, somewhere in that pile of humanities, a foul. And it's going to be on Hickey.
So I think that was a pass. I'm more of an optimist. More of the glasses half full type guy.
That was a great pass.
And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
I think he saw him over there, and that was just a nice skip pass over to Antonio Davis.
Yeah, wait till you get in that studio. You'll say, man, that's the worst shot I've ever seen. But seeing you're out on the court now, it's a pass. That's right, see? Changes everything. You'll have a whole different set of rules when you're doing...
it's all about proximity.
That's right. Reggie, free for a second now, hooks it back out to Davis. This has given George Carl a little bit of an opportunity to look at a different combination. And he said to us today, he says, you know, the games have been kind of too close for me to really take a look at different combos because we've had to pull away from teams, and they have had to, even though, as I said, they're beating people by 27.5. That got inflated by really one of their games, but because the couple it's close at halftime.
Brutal call. Baron Davis from raking across the arms, and that was all leather right there.
Jay Williams and Rafe LaFrance, they don't get much time at all. Jay's newcomer soon to the Chicago Bulls after an All-American career at Duke. Rafe, another one of the Kansas guys, played with Paul Pierce there. Great shot blocker and three-point shooter in the NBA. Henare. Wallace all alone. Man, when Wallace goes up for a rebound, you might as well just get out of the way.
Yeah, we talked about it. That's what this guy does, and he's just an animal.
Marion, that wasn't a pass. That was a shot.
And it's all started on the defensive end. They only allowed New Zealand 10 points in the third quarter, and that's where you find out about the intensity. Not on the offensive end. The offensive end, everybody wants to score, and that'll take care of itself. But on the defensive end, are you going to deny passes? Are you going to get in the passing lane? They've been doing that the second half.
New Zealand's only scored, as Top said, 12 points in 12 minutes. They've only scored 10 points. Missed dunk there.
You don't get those calls when you're up 29.
I don't think so. Well, I give the group from New Zealand a lot of credit because for 2.5 quarters, they were right in the hunt here. Hickey seen a lot more time tonight, but not getting the shot off in time. Another turnover, back-to-back turnovers by New Zealand.
Well, I know Sean Marion, nice little give and go right here. And yeah, I mean, they grabbed his elbow, but you're up 29 points. Referee's not going to give you that call, and nor should he feel any pity for you. I know if they call it as it is, but hey, up 29.
Rafe LaFrance, who we just mentioned a moment ago and you saw on the bench, is in the lineup for the United States. Here he is. First shot, got it. Not bad when you can bring a guy like that off the bench.
Yeah, well, one thing he can do, you look at him as a 7-footer, and he's not really an inside presence on offense. On defense, he is. He's get in there and block shots. But offensively, he's the guy that's going to space the court, bring the opposing center out, and if you leave him open, he can definitely drill it.
Jones missed the outside jumper. So the lead is swelled to 31 at the 7-minute mark. An aerial inbound. Cameron's been really quiet. Guy that was scoring about 16 points a game. 7 in the first half, hadn't scored in the second half for New Zealand. One too many passes, maybe, unless there's a foul called inside.
Called for kicking, I think,
okay. So fresh clock. Flavel comes back in. Henare goes out. Judd Flavel had 7 points in the first half, and he'll inbound on the baseline with 6:49 to play in this 5th game of the tournament for these two teams. Look out, Barron. I almost had to take a charge there.
I was there for you.
George cleared out of the way. That's the first time George moved all night. He's right in front of us. He gives that Matador defense on Barron on the way by. Cameron will pull up and nails the jumper. That's what he can do. He just hasn't really had the opportunity except his first shot of the night went down from out there.
Well, they're still working their offense. And Tad Baldwin said today that the head coach of New Zealand, we're going to work on our game. We're trying to get better. This is a learning experience for us. So whatever point of the game they are, whatever the score is, that's not going to dictate how we're going to play.
Davis, nice crossover. What a spin inside. What a spin inside, and then finished off by Antonio Davis.
My goodness.
Davis to Davis. Look at Michael Finley's smile. I don't know if there is a slow-mo on this. Watch the spin move.
What vision. I mean, to be able to spin and then not get dizzy and fall down and be able to find him right there, that is a sweet pass.
Sure was.
And a strong finish. Watch this right here. Not only the spin's awesome, but whoop, right there, that low foul bucket. That was yummy.
The only thing they didn't cap was the three-point play that missed the free throw. Jay Williams has checked in for the United States, the youngest member of this team. Book on the hook, Marion on the rebound.
Who are you, Nipsey Russell?
Baron Davis, deep ball, got it.
Boy, the dike is busted.
The lead is 33.
Now, what would happen if they stopped the game right now in the last 5.5 minutes playing rugby? I'm wondering if New Zealand...
I just like to see the dance again. I don't know. Penny. And he is fouled. I think shooting a three. Let's wait and see. Foul's going to be on Sean Marion. I don't know if he's outside the arc or not. I thought he was. And it is going to be 3 free throws. Boccia goes out. And Winithana comes in for New Zealand. He doesn't get much playing time either, so both coaches are having the luxury, if you want to put it that way, for George Karl, it's a luxury to go to some of the guys that don't see a lot of play. And for New Zealand, they have conceded that this one's over. But, you know, Tad Baldwin also told us, you know, if they blow us out, he said, I'm not going to feel bad about that. He said, you know, when you have a team down, go ahead and beat them as bad as you can. So if it's a 30-point game, it's a 30-point game. Yeah. But the thing he's got to be impressed with is for 2 quarters and 2 minutes, his team was in the hunt.
No, I think that's what you tell your team, you know, going into the next game, going into other competitions. You tell your team, you know, we played with the best in the world, and if we can get out there and we can play our game, we can communicate with each other, we can battle, then, you know, we can play another team.
That's right. Elton Brand, pull-up jumper in the paint. Marion kicks down to LaFrance, and Rafe missed it in close. I think he didn't quite know where he was.
Sometimes you find yourself hurrying down there.
Yeah.
Instead of taking your time, maybe a pump fake or just gather, you want to get it off quicker than maybe you need to.
New Zealand turns it over just under 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. The United States on a way to a 5-0 start in this event. They lead 88-57. Started kind of friendly. As Pora Winithana was one of the lead guys of the haka dance for New Zealand. A way of honoring their opponents and firing themselves up, but Paul Pierce says, get the haka out of here with that thing. One of his block shots tonight, and his numbers, 2 blocks, 8 boards, 20 points. Michael Finley also 20. And the United States en route to their 58th straight win with NBA players in international competition, and they'll be 5-0 against a 5-0 Argentina team tomorrow night on ESPN2. Tom and I, David and Kevin and the whole gang will be here to bring you that one, so we hope you join us for that, because Argentina, they're juiced for the game, and they have beaten all the other teams. They are now considered the threat, if there is a threat to the United States. And Argentina won earlier tonight over Germany, so they're all ready to go at 5-0, and so is the United States, and that's our matchup tomorrow night.
Well, they're a good team.
Yeah.
I still think if the USA team comes out and plays with the intensity they played with in the second half here, you're still looking at a 20-point win. I mean, they're that much better than that team. But you get into a situation where you don't come out with the intensity like they did against New Zealand in the first half, you may not find yourself up 5. You may find yourself down 7 or 8 points, and then it becomes a problem.
Cameron turns and knocks down a 3. I won't forget Perro Cameron very soon. just don't see many guys that look like football players playing international basketball. LaFrentz inside, and Rafe missed another one. Got his own board and scored it. And he's fouled. So as we said, tomorrow night we will be here, United States playing Argentina. We'll bring you that one on ESPN2. Our friends from TNT, Marv and Mike and the gang on TNT Thursday night in the quarterfinals, and then NBC will take over. NBC will have Saturday semifinals at 4:30 Eastern. So if you're following the United States, join us tomorrow night, and join our friends from TNT and NBC the rest of the weekend. The weekend, I should say. 4 minutes left, 31-point game.
Well, it's nice they're up 31 points now. But I tell you what, when the game was close, Coach over here, Coach Crow, grinding those mints.
He was.
I'm telling you, he's the best player in Indiana.
I think he switched to gum now. Things have calmed down. You swallow a mint, you got a chance. You swallow gum, you might have to do the Heimlich on him, you know, from here. So
I know that. I'm well schooled in that.
Williams inside. Jay Williams, nice drive by the Bulls rookie, number 2 pick in the NBA draft.
This is what the Bulls are hoping to see a lot of for years to come. And a lot of people question whether, you know, it should have been Jay Williams, or, and you watch right here, the explosiveness that Williams has. And not just the explosiveness, he's strong when he gets to the hole. I mean, he can take the bump and he can finish. But between him and Yao Ming, who is to go number 1? And certainly with Houston having the number 1 pick,
right,
they needed the center. But I've been asked, if, you know, regardless of what your needs are, if you had a chance to pick number 1, I said this guy, because I just saw his leadership skills at Duke. I saw the way he took the big shots. I love the way he finishes, and I love the way he runs the team.
And he's strong, so strong. Saw him last night in the hotel, and his mom and dad are here, and David and Althea, and he was kind of wrestling around with his dad. She said, guys, would you straighten out? There's people here. He turned around and saw it was me and said, I hope I get to play tomorrow night. I'm not playing much. So he's getting to play tonight. Baron Davis, the other guard, knocks down a 3. 97-60. It's tough on young kids. You come in, all of a sudden you go, man, is this what the NBA is going to be like? I can't even see any time.
It's a wake-up call is what it is. I mean, you're the best player on your college team. You go number 2 overall. And we talk about what Rafe LaFrentz can do defensively. He can block shots. And he's one of those guys that defensively, he's around the bucket, he's athletic, and he comes off the ball very well to block shots. But, you know, back to Jay Williams, you're the National College Player of the Year. I mean, you're the best player in college basketball. You're the number 2 pick overall, and you find yourself on a team where you're not playing a whole heck of a lot, and you understand that these guys are big time. You know, the NBA is no joke.
Missed the free throw. Believe it or not, he's the only player to have won an NCAA title that's on this team. And Reggie Miller's the only player on this team that's ever been to the NBA Finals. You think about how good these guys are, you figure, man, they've played in title games all over the place. It's not that easy to come by.
But it wouldn't surprise me when you look at the rosters if you wouldn't see Paul Pierce in an NBA Finals.
Yeah, that's right.
Next 2 or 3 years. Elton Brand playing for the Clippers.
Brand slams it down, and that makes 100. That's the way you hit the century mark.
Well, if they can't get Matthew Broderick to play in Inspector Gadget 2, maybe they get that guy. Because I tell you what, his arms just go forever.
Yeah, they do.
He's one of the quickest leapers in the NBA.
Now here he is leading the break. Baron Davis leads it back for him, or tried to. And New Zealand breaks that up. Then he comes up with a loose ball, wins the foul, and he got blocked by Elton Brand. It's a block party.
I don't think New Zealand wants to go to that party.
I don't think so either. Marion. Deep 3, got it. 103.60.
Well, these guys feeling no pain right now.
Not at all. This could end up being one of the bigger wins they've had. The United States beat Algeria 110-60. It's 103-60 here, and we've got a minute and a half left. Marion, what's he going to do? Gives it off to Brand. Layup.
Holy mackerel.
Wow. They're just hitting the buzzer here to get a timeout.
ESPN2's presentation of the 2002 FIBA World Basketball Championship brought to you by American Airlines. American Airlines offers more room throughout coach to over 250 cities worldwide in 40 countries.
Beautiful look outside downtown Indianapolis, inside Conseco Fieldhouse. It's all United States in the second half. You know, there are runs and there are runs. How about the second half?
57-18. Holy mackerel.
Yeah,
that's a monster run right there.
Greg Popovich, one of the assistant coaches. George Carl on the right. The head coach finally sat down. That's the first time he sat down all night. There's a minute 22 left.
He's got to be... He better get some bananas in him because he may be cramping up after the game.
He needs some potassium or something. Backdoor cut. Jay Williams picks off that pass, comes out of the pile on the run, gets to the head.
Oh, wow.
For Sean Marion.
I'm telling you what, with Marion, just get it somewhere near the rim. Anywhere near the rim, and that guy's going to grab it and finish for you.
Robert Hickey's first field goal, and we're down under a minute.
See the way he runs, Marion. Marion runs like Tigger. He's like, boing, boing, boing. Feet barely touch the ground.
He's got springs.
Yeah.
Fauci backs it out, 40 seconds, 13 on the shot clock. United States will go to 5-0. They'll play 5-0 Argentina tomorrow night. We'll be there on ESPN2. We hope you join us for that one because you never know. There's another lob. You got to have some fun. And the U.S. now dominating New Zealand, but they didn't for a half. New Zealand hung for a half. The United States took over and never looked back. Started playing defense. That's where it seems to come from. When they started blocking shots, it turned their offense on. And they're pretty much winning going away now.
No, absolutely. I mean, it was all started at the defensive end. Defensive end led to offense, and now the guys are just flat out having a good time. He's throwing balls up to Marion. He's getting dunks. Jay Williams getting steals. Guys are hitting three-pointers. And if I'm New Zealand, next time I get the ball, I'd probably just hold on to it for 6.3 seconds and get out of here and see if I can go find a good lager somewhere. Because you know the guys from New Zealand are about lager.
That's right.
They have no problem with that kind of stuff.
There's no doubt about that.
Maybe one more haka.
Street ball. I think they're too tired to haka. Street ball coming up. After this one, Jay Williams hit one of his 2 free throws, and it's all over as United States dominates 110-62. Close game at halftime becomes a rout in the second half, courtesy of Pierce and Finley and Marion and all the rest. The United States 110, New Zealand 62. Tomorrow night it's Argentina. Likewise, 5-0, the United States 5-0. Street ball presented by Mountain Dew. Code Red's coming up next. For now, from Conseco Fieldhouse, we're going to wrap it up tonight. The United States wins and wins big. For David Aldridge, Kevin Frazier, my partner Tom Tolbert, I'm Brad Nessler. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. See you tomorrow night for Argentina and the United States.